Hey buddies, it's been a minute. I know the last video I posted, I was claiming that I was going to be more consistent with posting, and I clearly have not, but it is Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving to you and you and you and whoever celebrates. If not, happy holidays. I just wanted to come on here because there have been so many crazy stories exposing a lot of just harrowing and really sad disputes going on, I want to say, in society today, especially in celebrity culture. If you guys know, you know. I know YouTube has a very strict kind of branding when it comes to using specific terminology, so I'm going to be very careful. But this topic speaks to me because I myself have had, my own dealings with toxicity, toxic relationships, and abuse as well, and I wanted to share my take on it. So there's going to be a few highlighted topics that I want to discuss. First of all, a lot of these domestic disputes, these DV claims, these RAPE claims, these harassment claims, which have been coming out, are more so within my community, the Black community, which is not shocking. If you guys don't know, within the Black community, especially towards Black women, domestic violence, domestic disputes are some of the highest just within society. And I'm a little bit under the weather. I actually was wanting to shoot this video a couple days ago, but my voice was completely gone, and so it's finally coming back. But if you hear me clear my throat a little bit, that's the reason why. But me, myself, having dealt with toxic relationships and coming out of as a survivor of abuse, it really was triggering. I remember I was with family helping paint. I was with my godsis helping her paint her room when she broke the news about Keke Palmer filing a restraining order against her baby daddy. That was so shocking to me. Keke Palmer is Hollywood's it girl. We love her. We all revere her and just see her as a force to be reckoned with her talent, her gifts. And despite that sensationalized situation that happened during the Usher concert, it had been on my radar, but I didn't want to make a video posting on it, only because there were so many people who were kind of gaslighting the situation, giving their opinions on whether she should be together with someone like him or not, after she already had, produced offspring with him. And it didn't behoove me to really talk about the situation until I saw the context of this domestic violence that she has gone through with him. And a lot of things started to click and make sense. But then more pieces started to kind of fall into place when I saw that, he released emails, text messages, and videos of the mother, and I'm talking about the baby daddy, Darius. When he released his side of the story as well, that's when things started to really come together for me. And I started to realize how complex the situation was. First of all, her being abused by him in any capacity is just awful. And again, triggering, because I can completely understand and relate to what that is like. I will say that what's unfortunate is that Keke Palmer's mother definitely seems way too invested in their relationship. And I think, you know, with the dynamic of their situation, they should have definitely ended their relationship as soon as they could have. It would have been for the best if they had, maybe just had fun and just left it done in the sun. But them consistently being drawn to each other and his claims of him trying to end the situation and Keke consistently trying to reconnect with him, I think there's a huge red flag on both their parts. It seems like Keke might have self-control issues, which is understandable for child stars who have been in the industry for so long and have never had control in much aspects of their life, to find somebody that they feel like they have some sort of control over. Not necessarily that she has control over him per se, but has control over what she deems as a relationship that she can handle. I think that was a huge issue. She stated in a restraining order that he would love bomb her and then be cold and isolating, which I can completely understand. It's difficult when you feel like you have this hot and cold relationship with somebody, because it leaves you wanting closure. It leaves you wanting to fill in the gaps. Like, how can you connect and profess your love for me in such intense way and then just disconnect? It's not easy to just process. So I can also honestly understand why it might have been difficult for her to completely cut ties with him. But for the best, she really, really should have ended that situation. And it was very alarming to hear Sharon, Keke's mother, say some of the kind of insidious things she was saying on the phone. Understandably so, for her to realize that her daughter was being abused, I can understand where her anger and aggression was coming from. But that's another situation where it's alarming how invested in her daughter's relationship she was. She definitely needed to create some boundaries so that her mom did not feel so comfortable spewing all of the, unfortunately I gotta say it, homophobic things that she was saying. And some of the callous things that she was saying about Darius to him, just kind of degrading and demeaning him. But again, if your daughter is being abused and you have a chance to confront the abuser, you're not going to be saying the most nicest things. So that's understandable. Now, with the next situation, now this was really shocking. Not shocking as in I couldn't believe that it was happening. Shocking as in the graphic details. Diddy and Cassie. Now, Diddy is somebody who I've always known to be a low-life, gutter-butt scum. I've always appreciated his representation in culture. I always appreciated what he stood for as a young black business mogul. I think that it's necessary for young black men to have representation of what it means or what it can look like to be successful, to be independent, and to be ambitious and driven and building a brand. Unfortunately, Diddy has really shown his ass. And for years, I've always known people who've, worked proximity to him, who've, you know, have alleged rumors about his like nefarious business dealings, the way that he treats people. And so it's just more icing on top of this really insidious cake of how deplorable he really is. This man not only takes advantage and builds his success off the backs of young, aspiring people, but for him to have graphically trafficked, for him to have graphically RAPED'd, for him to have basically, I'm just gonna call it like it is, he enslaved this young girl to meet this aspiring young artist at 19 when he's almost 40, and to take advantage of her in such a horrific way, to make her sign a 10 album deal. Who does that for a new artist? She's a new artist and you signed her to a 10 album deal. That's slavery. He did not want her to see the light of day at all. And I'm not going to go into detail about some of the allegations because I know that they've settled, which to me is already, I mean, if you settled within 24 hours of this coming out, that screams you are GUILTY. I don't care. I don't care what his lawyer is trying to claim to save face. That is ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. You have a special place in hell just for the horrific things that you have done. And it also lets me know that the 35 pages in this lawsuit, and I had listened to another vlogger, her name is Lovely T. She did a great job of breaking down the excerpts of that 35-page lawsuit. And it was so triggering, it left me in a horrible mood. Like, I literally was just disgusted. I was upset just reading some of the things that he did. But the fact that he settled so fast lets me know that those 35 pages is just the precipice of what he actually has done. I'm sure he has done way worse things that he was shook that if it came out, I mean, his reputation is already snowballing into destruction, into demolition. But I'm sure the things that else could have come out, this man would have been sick. If any of you guys saw those staged photos, I'm saying staged because they look staged, of him like a couple days ago, looking like he was grieving, looking like he was uncomfortable about what had happened, the aftermath of the lawsuit. But again, I am completely happy to see that Cassie was vindicated because she deserves it. I mean, I hope she got everything that she wanted and more. Because for over a decade to have dealt with somebody who was completely mistreating you and conditioning you, and for the people who keep questioning why it took her so long, if you can imagine after reading that, how disgusted you might feel learning about the things that he did. I mean, I wasn't even there, didn't know nothing about it, but it read like a horror movie. It read like a thriller. Like, literally, it read like a thriller script or some shit. I could not even imagine what it was like for her to have to relive any of that. So I don't even want to hear nobody try to justify or trying to argue with how long it took for her to come clean, because having to even relive any of that, phew, I probably would have broke out in a whole allergic reaction just having to talk about that shit. So I'm definitely glad that she was finally able to come clean with that and speak her piece. And this last topic I want to talk about. Oh, and quickly, I definitely think that more is going to come out when it comes to Diddy and Bad Boy. I mean, I've already heard that he has another partner who's also having to deal with another lawsuit of SA. So, with that being said, I definitely want to go into this last topic, which is on, and this isn't directly related, but it is a little bit triggering, and I feel like there's a bit of connection with how angry our society is and how easily our society resorts to violent and threatening actions. And that is with DDG and Halle. And I've already had another video prior to this about them, which was a more positive video. But if you hadn't heard, there was an instance where Halle had gone to seek services at a nail salon. It's petty, it's not a big deal. And she was running late. She had booked an appointment for her sister, also running late. Her sister was running even later than she was. And the salon owner told her that, we can't see you, unfortunately, and that you guys have to book your appointment again. Well, her baby daddy, heard about this and decided to have a call to action. And he kind of incited a bit of a riot with his followers and fans, letting them know that, hey, this business was, according to him, racist towards his girlfriend, and that everybody should bombard her or the business with bad reviews. Now, Halle came out and stated her side of the story, which had nothing to do with the owner being racist. When Halle told her story, it was all about her just being late. She also wasn't fully honest, though, with the time and how late she was. She underplayed it a bit, but the salon owner came out and told her side of the story, which was very sad. But with DDG trying to gaslight the situation, it just kind of reinforced why I feel like my community has so many issues with just violence and domestic violence. People were sending, and mind you, these are people who've never been to the salon, to the nail tech service or whatever. They probably don't even live in the same, proximity or whatever. They were sending this business owner death threats. This business owner is pregnant. They're sending her death threats. They were calling her, harassing her, threatening her and her business. And it just made me think, why is it that we resort to such violence, such aggression, when we aren't happy, when we feel triggered, when things don't go our way? And it just connects the dots to me on the level of degradation our society is in. You don't even know the details of the story other than this person just told you this random retelling, and you've just taken it, gone with it, and now you have completely blown it out of proportion. And I felt so bad for this nail tech business owner, because in this time when everybody is struggling to, financially stay afloat, take care of themselves, their families, to have this lady suffer this way is so messed up, so wrong. There was nothing wrong with Halle telling her side of the story. There's nothing wrong with her opinion and her, processing her day. But the way that her man just, and I totally understand him taking up for her. I think that's beautiful that he felt, compassionate for her. I mean, that's his lady, so he wants to take care of her, absolutely. But now you have spun a lie and you have incited this violent reaction from your fan base, her fan base, and they have gone completely wackadoo and have lost all morals, sensibility, and are trying to drag this lady in such a horrific way. She's online, tearful, feeling fearful about whether she can go back to work or not. So we as a society, just in general, we need to do better. We need to find healthier ways to process our emotions. We need to be more practical and sensible. And we need to also know what relationships and connections are for us and not for us. Being in situations that don't serve us can really end. It can end your progress in life. It can end your development in life. I mean, I think that it's important to forge relationships that support you, that promote you, that uplift you. And sometimes we get so caught up in our ego or caught up in our need to control that we don't realize that if we let go of control, if we just put our well intentions out there and understand that what's for us will only uplift and bring us to a better space instead of trying to force situations. I mean, he's really, really taking a huge hit for his actions. And unfortunately, Kiki is also taking a bit of a hit because this situation has just become messy. And Kiki has never, ever been in the news or the media for any mess. She's a good, hardworking girl. And with DDG and Hallie, this is going to affect her brand, unfortunately. And hopefully this nail salon owner doesn't, press charges, because she could. I mean, her life has been threatened. And she can say that, because of this defamation and slander, she needs some type of, what's the word I'm looking for? She needs, because of this defamation and slander, she needs some type of legal action to, compensate. I think that moving into 2024, I hope that we as a society can see this reflection and make better choices. A lot of our parents' generation and our parents' generation didn't hold people accountable for mistreatment. And I feel like we can start with holding ourselves accountable, doing the reflection to be better selves and to grow and evolve, and then push that and project that into society and showcase what we've learned by just treating each other better. So I want to be thankful to you guys for listening and hearing any opinions, thoughts, concerns that you guys might have on this. Happy Thanksgiving.